Alrighty, folks. Welcome in, everyone. I am so excited for today. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Adobe Live, or good afternoon, good evening, time-appropriate salutations. My name is Voodoo Val, and I am going to be your host for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge again, and I am so pumped for it. How are you guys feeling this morning? How's everybody doing? Where are you from? How was your weekend? I hope everyone is as excited for all of this new stuff as I am. I'm really excited for a lot of reasons, actually, not just because I get to be here teaching the challenge and we all get to spend the next handful of weeks together creating and doing awesome stuff, but I also have kind of a special addition to this challenge that I'm eager to share, which, I mean, I usually have a special addition to the challenges. You guys know I like to cosplay and do all kinds of fun things, but I'm going to get into another extra special element to these challenges once I go through some of our regular housekeeping. Ashraful, welcome in. Sean, Chris Georginas, it's good to see you, my friend. Frank, Mauricio, Mercurial, Dorina, Dan, Paula, Dwani, Eves, Ferry, General Kenobi, hello there. Steve Festus, Casaboom, the man with the name. Robert, Umacorn, Kim, Afroja, Seraphin, it is good to see all of you here with me this morning. I am so excited. Quick point, if you are over on the YouTube channel, please come over to behance.net/live. That is where I am reading the chat. So if you're on YouTube right now and you're like, where in the heck are all of these magical people that Voodoo Val is saying good morning to? They're on Behance. They do in fact exist. There are no ghosts. I'm not greeting any ghosts this morning. There are real people and we are hanging out where the party is happening over on Behance. So please come join me because I would love to see you. I would love to greet you. I would love to know who you are. For those of you who may not be familiar with the daily creative challenges, or maybe if you do know about them, but you need a little refresher as far as where you can get the information for that, how you can join me, and so on and so forth, if you head over to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, it will take you to this lovely screen right here. This is the challenge landing page. You will know that you are in the right place if it says April 26th through May 21st at the top. That is the challenge time frame that I am teaching currently. If you are watching this video, maybe you're in the future, you're watching this video, and when you go to this page, there is a different date there. That just means that the time frame for these challenges has passed, but it does not mean that you still cannot get your hands on all of the resources and starter files. So all you have to do, if you don't see that date set up right there, is scroll all the way to the bottom here, and you can see we have all of these past challenges organized by date, where you can scroll through and find one that you want. They are all archived here. But not only that, if you go ahead and click this little arrow button here, you can see all of the challenges are actually listed here, as well as links to where you can watch the video so that you can get the little video tutorial that all of our wonderful instructors put together for you live. And you can also download the starter file, which is awesome. So you do have like unlimited access to all of the past resources and all of the past broadcasts, even if you are working on a challenge that is not the current challenge. As you can see here, we have a little 1 through 4 of the how does it work. Basically, each day you'll receive a challenge. You can join the community chat to stay informed and connect with others. You can watch the daily live show to get started and ask questions while you're working. And finally, you can share your work to get feedback from other mentors and other participants. So you guys can go, we're going to have a link in the chat here pretty soon to the Photoshop Discord. If you guys join the Discord, then I can chat with you, your peers can chat with you, you can tag any mentors if you ever need any help with your projects. And it's also just a really great place to be able to connect, to share ideas, to make some design friends, get feedback on your work, grow as a creative, and the point that makes this a very, very special challenge is there is a channel in the Discord called Challenge Suggestions or Challenge Ideas. And if you go to that channel in the Discord, you can make suggestions for things that you would like to learn. And I love that channel. That is a place that I spend a lot of time kind of scouring so that I can formulate and write classes that you folks really find valuable, so that we can deliver the best challenges possible to you folks and give you what you're really looking to learn. So I would like to highlight a handful of people this morning who have submitted challenge ideas to that channel that are going to be in these next challenges that I'm getting ready to start teaching. So Trexie submitted a bunch of different ideas for these, and the ones that I chose to kind of incorporate is Trexie actually sent through a link of really beautiful images that were basically predictions for what might be the design trends of 2021. And I decided to use the gold leafing idea there and create a challenge that may show you folks how to take an item or a flat image even, and make it look as if it were 3D and leafed in gold. So we're gonna be getting into that. And then I also decided to create a challenge based on warping text into an illustration, because I thought that was pretty cool. So we're gonna be working on those two. We got a really cool idea from Fairy. So Fairy, if you're here, I know that you're one of our regulars. We are doing a challenge specifically based on your suggestion for warping things into perspective. So we're gonna be taking images of a perspective hallway, and we are going to be not only designing and creating our own furniture, but we are going to be placing that furniture into a scene in perspective, which is, I think, is pretty exciting and applicable to so much, because sometimes you do have to Photoshop things like creating your own mock-ups or mocking up a concept for a client and so on and so forth. So hopefully by the end of that challenge, you folks will be able to do that on your own. Design and Beyond asked for a challenge to show how to add glow to things or create a glow coming from a shape. And upon further inquiry, I found that the challenge inquiry was specifically for like making something glow, like an entrance or a portal glow, like sort of in the dark. So what I have done is I have created a challenge for you specifically about a magical doorway that opens forth into the darkness, and how those rays of light burst into the darkness, which I think is pretty neat. Let's see what else we got here. Emma P, who is somebody who comes to hang out here a lot, and Emma has asked, said that they actually needed a challenge that could help them solve a problem, which I think probably all of us could use some help solving, and that is they said, these days, I'm looking for a way to make floral fine art photography backdrops using photos, and I can find nothing. If there's a possibility for such a DCC, I will be very grateful. I'm thinking of using flowers from a photo and making it as a composite, but it's hard for me to make the abstract vintage effect. So, for one of the challenges, what we're going to be doing is scouring the free section of Adobe Stock and choosing some photos that we can use not only to composite something together, but to give it a vintage look and show you folks how to create backdrops that you can use for photography, that you can use for graphic design, that you can use for streaming, that you can use for putting as the background in your Zoom call, whatever you need. We're gonna learn how to make some really cool backgrounds with a vintage effect, you know, since that was specifically what Emma was looking for. But I will definitely give you folks some tips on how you can give it your own flair and maybe go in a different design direction. And lastly, Graphical said, I think it would be cool if there was a challenge where you could learn how to alter the patterns on furniture. So we are going to take our pattern and our backdrop, our awesome piece of composite that we created for Emma, and we are going to apply it as upholstery to a sofa. And I'm going to show you not only how to apply it and make it look believable, but also how to set it up so that when you're done adding this new custom upholstery to your sofa, you can actually use it again in the future and drag and drop other textures in, so you have like your own template file that will allow you to change the textures of furniture and create scenes and all that kind of thing. So yes, we're gonna be taking, actually not necessarily altering the patterns, General Kenobi. We're going to take images, composite them together, apply filters, and create our own tileable patterns that we are then going to be able to use for, you know, the upholstery stuff that we're going to be able to duplicate. We'll have it in our tiles patterns panel, and we'll be able to apply that and then add more texture on top of it to suit our needs. For example, a backdrop for photography, or for example, a background for a Zoom call, or whatever it is that you folks may have need of. So I'm really excited. Please, I hope that if you can, you will join the Discord and you will put ideas into there. I really wanted to show you folks that I'm very interested in specifically what you want to learn. I would love to be able to gear more challenges specifically to you folks who are looking for something, some way to solve an issue that you face in design. I would love to gear a challenge directed towards solving your problems. So, Bryce says 100% agreed. Stony says cool. Fairy says the most challenging is human perspective or something which is not a box. Well, we can actually work on adding an element of human perspective to it as well, because I'm going to go over the basics of perspective and things that you can keep in mind so that you could put anything into a space. And of course, we'll probably be working with a box, but I'm going to show you how to break the borders of that box so you have more know-how when it comes to placing in strange objects instead of just, as you say, like just a cube into a space. Let me see. This is my, by the way, this is a fun site from Adobe, mycreativetype.com. What kind of creative are you? I haven't done this in a while, but I did do it at first, and I can't remember what I was, Rick, but I would love to actually do that. And I've got a secret, top secret message coming in here. Let me turn that down. Let me go through here and make sure I have caught all of your wonderful comments. So excited for these challenges. Miranda, I am too. I think this is going to be great. Perspective is fun, but I've done it mostly with pen and paper. Well, Robert, we are going to be doing it digitally, and we're going to be creating our own templates for putting things into perspective. So before we actually place stuff in perspective into a scene, I'm going to show you how I like to line things up and create different shapes in perspective that I can easily warp to give myself an idea of where an object or person should be in a scene that I can just drag and drop into any file whenever I need to utilize perspective, and give myself a good idea of how to approach solving my issue. So I think that's going to be pretty tight. I'd love to learn about creating vintage effects. Yes, we're going to do creating our own patterns. We're going to learn how to also create something that can be used for different screens and so on, because some of you folks may be using them for production, but also how to prep these files for print. So if you are looking to print out a huge backdrop or something for photography, or maybe you folks just really want to be able to print things out for like building wrapping, or print stuff out just to have a print of something in your home, I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. Good morning, Panda. It's good to see you. Surfin, hello. I'm going to go on PTO just to do these DCCs. I'm so glad that you're as excited about it as I am. This is really cool. Anastasia says these all sound awesome. I'm so pumped. We've got a fun 2 weeks ahead of us. Yes, fun 4 weeks technically, because I'll be teaching them live for 2 weeks, and then after that we'll be doing a replay of them, so that if anyone needs to go back in time, you guys can follow along with the replays, which I actually personally, I like sometimes a little more than just going and hunting the videos down myself, because when the replays are happening, I can actually tune in here on Behance in the chat and see all of my friends that that also participated in the challenges, and we have like a set time to meet, to have a meeting and talk about the challenges. Maybe not as busy as the live streams, but I encourage all of you to join us when we are not technically live, when we have a replay. because a lot of the times I like to jump in here and say hello, and I would love if there were more people in the chat kind of like waking up or tuning in the afternoon or evening or wherever you're at, and having like that set meeting time to come together and ask questions about the challenges. Anytime you folks have questions to ask about the challenges, I always can come in and say hello. And answer your questions directly, because then I'm not on the stream teaching, I'm like in the chat and I can help mentor and answer any questions. So looking forward to 9+ days of challenges. Me too. Let me see. Jump in and say hello there. Yes. Hello there. Give a big Star Wars welcome. Voodoo Val did a variation on that a few times with animating the plant drawing. Yes, I have done a handful of animation things, and we are going to have an animation challenge this time, but this one is going to differ from the other animation challenges I have done in the past, in that we are not going to be doing frame animation, because I love to spice it up and find new ways to make frame animation like really interesting. We're going to be actually using the keyframes in Photoshop during these 2 weeks, which I think is super exciting. So if you have no idea what keyframes are, I'm going to show you. And if you have accidentally flipped to the video timeline and looked at the keyframes when animating in the Photoshop timeline, you're like, ew, this kind of looks like After Effects and I don't know how to use that, so I'm just gonna go back to the frame animation. I got your back. We're gonna solve it together. We're gonna figure it out, and then you're gonna be able to do keyframing and frame animation, and you're gonna be a master of the animation timeline in Photoshop. It's gonna be wonderful. Now we have maybe about 8 minutes left. So one of the things I would love to do before we take off today is encourage all of you folks to jump in to Photoshop and design your challenge cover. Now, sometimes we have challenges where we start out creating a mood board or designing something to give us some inspiration when it comes to beginning a round of challenges or beginning a huge project like this may be for some of you folks. Some of you may be planning to do every one of these and make a case study for your Behance and all that. What I would like to do is encourage you to make a cover that does that very same thing, okay? Because one of the things that I have noticed, especially with maybe people who are brand new to using Photoshop, people who are new to creating case studies and stuff, is that sometimes I see covers on Behance that don't actually feel like they connect in with the project itself once I click into the project, which tells me that perhaps they made a thumbnail beforehand and disregarded it when they started putting their project together, or perhaps they created their project and just needed something super quick to slap in as a cover, but they didn't spend a lot of time in it. So people come to their portfolios and that initial cover, that thumbnail for that project, doesn't do the project justice at all. So I think that since today is the intro stream and I don't have a challenge prepared to teach you right off the bat, I think that we should all create a cover for our project and let that be the guiding light as far as the style that we're going to commit to and the things that we're going to create during the challenges. So I'm going to pop over here into Photoshop, into the good old Photoshop. Keyframes is a hold over the session last week with Anna and James. Yes, Anna and James are fabulous and amazing. I want to be like them when I grow up. I think they're both wonderful. And yes, Anna did do a really wonderful couple of segments last week about motion and action and movement in illustration, and that was really cool. Instagram sticker challenge. Why not? Why not, Kim? I think that you could probably make that the theme of your own challenge. It's like every time I do a challenge, figure out how it could be applied to Instagram stickers and do a new one every day. I think that you can. You guys can really make these your own. Let's see, Jan Duckworth, I love the replays. sometimes I have to work on the live day and I often need to watch something several times to really understand, specifically Paul, because he sometimes goes very fast. Paul is a glowing ball of energy indeed, also a wealth of knowledge, and I know what you mean. Sometimes I also have to watch his videos over and over again just to get every little nugget of gold out of them. Clarissa says, I find those mood boards very helpful. Yes, indeed. Fruitoshoop. Yes, Noor. Thank you for spelling that out for me. Ted says, it's hard to make a cover first when we don't know what direction the portfolio is going. The issue, Sean also said, the issue is we're not told the direction of the DCC, so we make covers out of whatever to publish a project. Pro tip, don't publish until complete. Very true. But since I've given you some major spoilers for what you can expect, I think that we all probably have enough ideas when it comes to these challenges to say, you know, hey, this challenge is going to be like a helpful challenge for problem solving in the community. You guys know we're going to be doing some animations. We know we're going to be like gold leafing some items. We're going to be focusing on 2021 predicted design trends and what big designers think is coming and not going to leave us for at least a year. Creating patterns. You know, we're going to be creating patterns. We're going to be making upholstery mock-ups for really detailed items. And I've done mock-ups before, and that was just for like throwing your business card design in a scene. But we're going to be wrapping an entire sofa in a custom pattern that we make on a previous day. So it's going to be pretty cool. If you want, like I said though earlier with, I believe, why is my Photoshop looking smaller? Because it's on my Cintiq screen, which is only a 16-inch screen, so it does look a little bit small. Who is that said, let me see. Where is it? I think I lost it, unfortunately. Kind of going towards making this like your own theme. So like the Instagram stickers, maybe you're challenging yourself every day to choose a theme and kind of warp the challenge into your own idea of that. And you folks can even type in chat or in the Discord or whatever what your chosen theme is, and maybe I can comment on, like, give you an idea or a prompt for how the challenge can work for what you're doing. For me, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do any fancy graphic design for today. I'm just gonna sketch out, as I do sometimes on here on the intro day, is I like to sometimes just sketch what a cool idea could be for a lockup for my cover, and then I go do some graphic design over the top of it. So I kind of think that I want to go like a little bit minimalist and like sophisticated with this, because a lot of my challenges are kind of like big over the top. One of the things that is definitely super prominent in these challenges, at least for me, like what I'm going to choose to use as the theme of these, is the interior design, the interior decor, and interior aesthetic of a large manor, a large mansion. And you can bet your designing behinds I'm going to be doing a very extravagant cosplay on the final day, all right? I'm going to be Lady of the Manor on that Friday, so come prepared for cosplay, folks, because it's going to be over the top. And so I think what I'll do is maybe have, like, you know, my title or like a subtitle, like, you know, Adobe Live DCC, you know, give it like a little frame, and then I can actually give this like a larger mock-up or lock-up title here that's like more prominent for what this is, and then I can have like a by Voodoo Val kind of down here at the bottom. That could be something that's cool, something that works. Another thing I could do is maybe let's see, I've got about a minute, so maybe I won't, because I don't want to go over time. So maybe I'll just do something like that, and then I will remind myself that I want to put like a very subtle border. This is how I like to kind of make sure I just get my ideas out, and then I'm gonna go later and I'm gonna start kind of detailing this and creating myself a really nice looking cover. I'd love to see your ideas posted in the Discord, but I do not want to get kicked off the stage today, so I am gonna have to take off. But I hope that you folks are as excited about these as I am. I'm really pumped. I can't wait to see what you folks come up with, how you transform and make these your own, and what you create in general. Thank you so much for joining me. Please stay tuned for the next segment because we've got a jam-packed day of awesome designers and design going on. And I will see you folks bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for challenge number 1. Much love, everybody.